Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling how AI learns from data. You probably heard terms like machine learning and deep learning, but what do they actually mean? Well, you're about to find out. We're diving into a stack of sources today that get to the heart of how AI works. So whether you're prepping for a big meeting or just catching up on the field, or maybe you're just curious, buckle up. One of our sources mentions 2006 as AI's Big Bang moment, the year deep learning really took off. It even mentioned the guy named Geoffrey Hinton. What's the story there?
Yeah, so that was the year that Geoffrey Hinton and his team published a paper that really revolutionized how we train deep neural networks. Deep learning had been around for a while, but training these large networks was incredibly difficult, and Hinton's team found a way to make it much more effective. And that paved the way for the AI boom that we're seeing today.
Okay, so Hinton's breakthrough was like finding the secret recipe for AI learning.
Exactly. His work led to faster, more effective training, and that made it possible to tackle much more complex problems with AI.
So let's talk about those deep neural networks. Those layers always make AI sound so complicated. Can you break it down for us?
Sure. Imagine you're trying to describe a cat to someone who has never seen one before. You wouldn't just say it's a furry animal, you'd break it down, right? You'd talk about its pointed ears, its whiskers, the way it walks, the sounds it makes. Each of those details adds to the overall picture of the cat. Deep neural networks work in a similar way.
So each layer is like focusing on one specific detail of the cat?
Precisely. Each layer in the network learns to recognize increasingly complex features, building up a more complete understanding of the data. It might start by recognizing simple edges, then shapes, and eventually whole objects.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. The sources also mentioned something called learning rates. How do those fit into all this?
Think of it like adjusting the focus on a camera. If you want to capture a wide landscape, you use a wide lens. But if you want to zoom in on a specific detail, you need to adjust the focus. The learning rate in an AI system is kind of like that. It controls how quickly the AI adjusts its parameters as it learns.
So if the learning rate is too high, it's like the AI is moving too fast to really understand the data.
Exactly. A high learning rate can lead to overshooting the target, kind of like using a blurry lens. A low learning rate is more precise, but it can take a lot longer to learn. It's all about finding that sweet spot.
So it's about finding the right pace, like studying for an exam. You don't want to cram everything at the last minute, but you don't want to spend years on one chapter either.
That's a great analogy. Finding the right learning rate is crucial for training an effective AI. Just like with studying different AI tasks might require different learning rates. It's all about optimizing the process.
This is making me think about the impact of AI on jobs. The sources highlight this idea of AI leading to job shifting, not just job displacement. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what's interesting here is that many jobs involve tasks that are repetitive or rule-based. Think about data entry, scheduling appointments, even some basic customer service interactions. These are all tasks that AI can often handle very efficiently, freeing up humans to focus on more complex or creative work.
So it's not about AI taking over jobs, but rather AI changing the nature of work itself.
That's the idea. In healthcare, for example, AI is already being used to analyze medical images, helping doctors detect diseases earlier and more accurately. AI is becoming a tool that empowers professionals to make better decisions.
The sources also talk about AI being used to optimize things like traffic flow in smart cities. It's like AI is helping us create a more efficient world.
AI is great at identifying patterns and optimizing complex systems, something that would be incredibly challenging for humans to do manually. Whether it's traffic flow, energy consumption, or supply chain logistics, AI can help us find solutions that are more efficient and sustainable.
This is fascinating stuff, but I do want to address the elephant in the room, the potential risks of AI. It's a powerful technology, and there's always a chance it could be misused, rightly.
You're absolutely right. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. One concern is that AI could be used to automate jobs in a way that leads to widespread unemployment or exacerbates existing social inequalities.
That's a sobering thought. We've seen how AI can be incredibly effective at optimizing things, so it's easy to imagine how that optimization could have unintended consequences.
Exactly. Another concern is the potential for AI to be used for malicious purposes, such as developing autonomous weapons systems or creating deepfakes that could be used to spread misinformation.
So while AI has incredible potential for good, we need to be mindful of the potential risks as well.
Absolutely. It's why we need to be thinking carefully about how we develop and deploy AI systems, ensuring that we have appropriate safeguards in place.
It's a lot to consider. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, from the history of deep learning to the potential impacts of AI on jobs and society. Where do we go from here?
Well, in the next part, we'll be looking at some of the even more futuristic applications of AI, including text-to-image generation and the mind-boggling world of quantum AI.
Sounds exciting. We'll be back after a short break to explore those cutting-edge frontiers. Don't go anywhere.
See you soon.
All right, we're back and ready to dive into some of the most mind-blowing frontiers in AI. All right, we're back and ready to dive into some of the most mind-blowing frontiers in AI.
Yeah, let's jump into some of those mind-blowing frontiers we touched on earlier. AI isn't just analyzing data anymore, it's actually creating it.
That's right. The sources hint at a future where you can give an AI some text and it spits out an image. That's text-to-image generation, right? It sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It might sound like magic, but it's rooted in the same principles of deep learning we talked about earlier. These models are trained on massive data sets of images and text, learning to connect words with visual elements.
So the AI is basically learning a whole new language, the language of images.
In a way, yes. It learns to encode and decode visual information, just like we do with spoken and written language. The amazing part is that these models can generate images of things they've never seen before, combining familiar elements in totally new ways.
So if I told the AI to create an image of a fluffy cat wearing a tiny hat riding a unicorn through a rainbow-filled sky, it could actually do that.
Precisely. And the results can be incredibly detailed and realistic. This technology is already being used in creative fields like advertising and graphic design. It's opening up a whole new world of possibilities for human expression.
That's incredible. One of the sources even mentioned generating videos from text. Is that really possible?
It's still early days, but the progress is astounding. Imagine creating an entire animated movie just by describing it in words.
That would revolutionize the entertainment industry.
Absolutely, and the potential goes way beyond entertainment. Imagine creating personalized educational videos tailored to each student's learning style, or generating realistic simulations for scientific research. The possibilities are truly vast.
Okay, now, for the really mind-bending stuff, the sources mentioned something called quantum AI. Now, I'll admit quantum mechanics is way over my head.
Yep.
Can you give us a simplified explanation of how this could impact AI?
Quantum AI is all about combining the principles of quantum mechanics with AI algorithms. It's like giving AI a turbocharged engine.
So it's kind of like giving AI superpowers.
You could say that quantum computers have the potential to be exponentially faster than classical computers for certain tasks. This could lead to breakthroughs in areas like drug discovery materials, science, even financial modeling.
So we could have AI designing new medicines or predicting financial markets with incredible accuracy.
That's the hope. It's still very early for quantum AI, but the potential is enormous. It could fundamentally change how we solve problems and understand the world around us. It's important to remember that with all of these advancements in AI, we're still just scratching the surface.
It's amazing to think how far AI has come in such a short time. From deep learning to text-to-image generation and quantum AI, it feels like we're witnessing the birth of a whole new era of intelligence.
And the most exciting part is what we discover next. As AI continues to evolve and learn, who knows what incredible innovations will emerge.
It's inspiring, but also a little daunting. This technology could transform our lives in ways we can't even imagine. We've covered so much about how AI learns and the impacts it could have. Do we have time to touch on anything else?
Yeah, we've covered so much ground in this deep dive. From the nuts and bolts of how AI learns to the mind-blowing possibilities of quantum AI and text-to-image generation. What are your final thoughts on all of this? What does it all mean?
You know what really strikes me is that AI isn't some magical force operating in a black box. It's built on math data and human ingenuity.
Yeah.
And that means we have a say in how it develops.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed by all these advancements, but you're right, we're not just passive observers. We're active participants in shaping the future of AI.
We have the power to guide AI's development, to invest in research that benefits humanity, and to demand transparency and accountability from the people building these systems.
We talked earlier about AI learning the language of images, but it makes me wonder if AI could learn anything? What would you want it to learn? What's fascinating is that AI's learning potential is practically limitless. We could teach it to tackle climate change, develop new sources of renewable energy, or even design personalized medical treatments.
It's almost like we're standing at a crossroads with this incredible tool in our hands. And the path we choose will determine the kind of future we build.
That's a powerful way to put it. The question isn't just what can AI learn, it's what do we want AI to learn? And how can we ensure it's used to create a better world for everyone?
Those are questions we all need to be asking ourselves. It's been an incredible deep dive, and I think we've all gained a much better understanding of how AI learns and the profound impact it's having on our world.
I agree. It's been a fascinating journey.
A huge thank you to you for guiding us through this complex topic and to our listeners for joining us on this exploration of AI. Remember, this technology is still evolving. The choices we make today will determine what AI becomes tomorrow. So stay curious, stay engaged, and let's work together to shape a future where AI benefits all of humanity. Thanks for joining this deep dive, and until next time, keep learning.